Hi.
Hello.
Like
I'm really surprised.
just caught you off guard completely there.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're
here
here
we
to talk
are.
about mental health today, aren't
We
we?
are.
Our topic du jour. Do you want to say a little bit about why you were suggesting that, Sammy?
Yeah, so it's Mental Health Awareness Week. And I just noticed that I noticed that I wasn't sure how to do my obligatory LinkedIn post about this. Because it's nuanced, right? And I just am noticing that so many of the posts are extreme, or the way that people are talking about this is kind of one extreme or the other.
Mm.
And so, even suggesting this as a topic with you this morning, Juliet, we were both a bit
Mhm.
tentative, like, oh, how do we talk about that in a way that's both true to how we feel and recognizing that some people might not like the middle ground that we occupy.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's get stuck
Um,
in.
Okay, right. I'm going to press start. 7.5 minutes.
Mhm.
Mental health or well-being. Where should we start? Where should we go?
Well, do you want to paint a picture of those two extremes then?
Yeah,
You were.
yeah. So the metaphor that was in my head was this shift from skinny jeans to the really baggy jeans that we're all wearing now, or some people are still resisting, um, because I think the this sort of flip flop in fashion that we see is quite useful sometimes to see how we go, how we rebel against what went before. So the skinny jeans were high waist, super tight, tight as you can go, and they, you felt confident in them. They showed everything off, etc. And they, to me, are the metaphor that they align with is in that space of kind of well-being. That's not really relevant here at the office. Thank you very much. Pull your socks up, man up, crack on, sleep when I'm dead type attitude. That real extreme of productivity and work above all else. And what suffers, of course, is the individual and the collective kind of well-being. But then the flip to super baggy jeans, which I feel incredibly comfortable in and I can slob around in as well as go out in now, thank goodness. But they still have a downside, right? Because they still absorb all the water in the puddles, and they have a different feel to them. Feels like this overreaction, or not reaction, over adjustment into if well-being or mental health are in the conversation, everybody is on edge.
Mm.
We've spoken to managers who don't know how to or refuse to manage the performance of an underperformer, or
Mm.
someone who needs more support in building their capabilities or their capacities because there's someone who has mentioned their mental health before,
Yeah.
or they've had time off with stress or something. And so this real nervousness and aversion to have expectations of someone
Mm.
in case you are asking too much of them that then negatively impacts their mental health or triggers them, or this word trigger I find really difficult.
Do you find
um
it triggering?
I find it triggering. Yeah, the irony. I don't know if well, maybe it is. I don't know. I find it overused,
Yeah.
and therefore it starts to mean less than it probably should.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably true about everything I'm describing,
It's
actually.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the polars that I'm sort of experiencing, and yeah, where would you take that as a
Yeah, so
provocation?
we're at risk of dismissing it totally
Yeah.
as a reaction to the discomfort of needing to address something that's been ignored in the past.
Mm.
Um, and just be, really clear, a lot of our work is around, we use the shorthand above and below the line, as you might have seen in some of our videos, where we invite people to develop a greater awareness of their emotional state, their personal resourcefulness, because it can be really beneficial, and to develop that shared story that we're all, this is actually part of the human condition. So it's really fundamental, we believe, to doing great work together in whatever shape or form that work is. And yet,
Absolutely tuning into where you're at.
yeah, exactly. So um, And we've both had our own mental health challenges in our lives, and we find it really powerful to share that with people, because it can invite others into being vulnerable and authentic. So completely getting that, but also, so whilst we have compassion for the issues of mental health and lived experience, I think this aspect of compassion is really important, because we're trying to meet each other in the middle somewhere. If either of us hold one of those polar extremes too tightly, we obviously alienate each other, and we start creating two camps that don't relate or understand each other. So I think this word compassion I find really useful, because it's a way, how can we meet together in the middle from a place of understanding?
Yeah.
And part of that for us who really understand the challenges of mental health is to understand people who are reacting against it, and to have some compassion for their position.
Yeah.
Because as the demands on all types of organisations are growing, in increasingly challenging contexts, people feel more pressure to tighten the screw. And so these other considerations can be frustrating. So how might we all hold compassion for each other and meet somewhere in the middle from a position of trying to understand each other? I
Yeah.
think can be a useful practice, because there is no clear answer in that middle ground. It's nuanced, it's fuzzy and messy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it comes back to this point around the individualistic nature of it. So, we're huge fans and advocates for community and being together in these things. And so, while what I'm not suggesting is we all go in every day and open our hearts entirely and tell everybody everything that's going on with us all of the time, because that won't be appropriate either. But noticing where you are operating from and sharing that with other people can be really useful. So right, at this moment I'm feeling anxious about saying something wrong in this conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
So even just saying that out loud makes it easier now for me to continue the conversation, because
yes,
anyone that's watching this can have compassion that I'm doing my best here to
yes,
share what is a nuanced and complex topic.
yeah,
So there's something really beautiful about just noticing it and not avoiding the tough conversation, but
yeah.
having it with the best intentions.
And naming
Um,
those intentions and being
yeah,
willing to learn alongside each other without judgment, because I think the judgment word, I guess, is perhaps
yeah,
the opposite of compassion. Um, and so much of this, whether it's inclusion, mental health, is a fear of doing the wrong thing and being judged for it, can cause us to entrench in our position. Um,
yeah,
so when we're a strong advocate for something like mental health or inclusion, how can we be true to those beliefs whilst also holding compassion and a non-judgmental awareness of others who perhaps
yeah.
are seeing the world differently at this point in time? And I wonder what those reasons are.
Mm.
Could be really hard.
I think there's a developmental piece on it as well. That, and again, anyone watching this is not me being like, so pull your socks up. I think a lot of our personal development and our growth and learning comes when we are uncomfortable. It comes from a
Yes.
place of stretch. Oop, there's our timer.
Oh,
I'm just going to finish the thought.
yes. Good one.
And so there is something that makes me nervous when I am seeing a move toward anything that makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to do,
Absolutely.
or anything that makes me feel vaguely uncomfortable or stretched or whatever, is anti, good mental health.
Yeah.
Because I think it doesn't recognize that it is when we are stretched, it is when there is the right amount of stress, and
Yeah.
it's a bell curve, the
Yeah.
right amount of pressure, that we learn something new, we try something new, we mature, that's all going on.
Yeah.
Um, and, and so I worry actually for some people who are so conscious of not feeling uncomfortable at any time that they
Yes.
actually get quite stuck in their development.
Yes, we
Um,
can't reject discomfort because discomfort is necessary for growth, and that's the paradox. So again,
yeah,
it's trying to avoid simple stories about something that's actually quite complex.
exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. So if we were to leave one message this Mental Health Awareness Week, Juliet, what do you think your pearl of wisdom would be?
Oh my word,
Um,
no pressure.
no
Um,
pressure.
Blank. Something like um, embrace men, embrace mental health and the discomfort of growth. Doesn't
Very
sound
nice.
very nuggety, but it's meeting in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I
What
like
about
it.
you?
Probably in a similar ilk, I guess. Noticing the discomfort and just asking yourself the question: is this discomfort going to be useful for me?
Yeah, yeah,
Because only we will know if it's too much or whether it's just enough.
yeah. Or as Buddhists say, don't waste a good suffering.
Lovely, lovely. And what we're not saying in this video is pull your socks up and crack on.
No. No. Lovely. Thank you,
On that
Sammy.
note,
That was
take
fun.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.